Hey everybody. Okay, today's day one of my next 100-hour fast. This is the third one this year so far. And I thought I'd give a little rundown of kind of part of my day one process that I go through. One of the reasons I do this is because it really helps me with my health goals, with autophagy and with cellular repair. It's helped me in my weight loss journey. And there's several things I do to prep. This is something I worked on quite a bit to really get down to a science for me. And so I'm going to walk you through some of my day one preparations that I do and give you some tips on if you ever want to consider doing a 100-hour fast. So one of the first things I do is I want to test, see where I'm at with my ketones. And so I got this KetoSense sensor that will check it for me. It's pretty easy to use. It's got a little lance that I stick in here. And I probably should have put it in before I took the top off. And then the reader, and you know it's on because it comes on. And then I just clean my finger. We'll do this one. First time I did this, I didn't set the depth deep enough, so I had to jab myself twice. So I just go all the way with the depth on this now. You cock it with that thing right here, and then it's ready to go. So then I just stick it on my finger right here on the side and hit the button, and it gives a little prick, and the blood starts coming out. You don't need that much, and just put it on the reader, go vertical, and the reader just needs a little bit of blood, and then it's going to show me where my ketones are at today. So 0.9, so pretty low, especially considering I've been doing carnivore for the last few days. So we'll see where that goes by the end, but overall, you know what, I'm happy with it. So feeling pretty good about where I'm at and starting this time. All right, so that's one of the first things I do is check that. So I know I'm at a 0.9, and I'm going to kind of monitor that as the week goes on. The next thing I do is I prep my water. I was in the store and I found Ramona distilled water. I got this because we lived in Ramona for like 12 years and loved the place and saw this water and thought, how awesome is that? And it was distilled, which I decided to go with distilled this time because getting like Arrowhead or Crystal, which I've used in the past, they're great, but they also have other minerals in them. So there's other things that, you know, I don't have control over because it doesn't really tell you what the mineral content is and that. So I decided to get distilled this time, and then I'm going to be putting all my own minerals in based on some measurements and some research I've done. So another thing I got, pretty cool, is this Redmond Real Salt, which is mined right here in Utah in an ancient like salt mine. And so I'm going to use that. The things I read was this was a little sweeter than the Celtic salt or the Himalayan pink salt, which I thought, okay, I'm going to give that a try. Usually I use the Himalayan pink salt. So I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of the Redmond salt. Got to get the sodium. My target is to get around 5,000 milligrams of sodium a day. Okay, then the next thing is potassium chloride, and I'm trying a new one for this too. This one's called NuSalt, which it's a salt substitute that's pretty much straight up potassium chloride. And I'm doing 1 teaspoon of the potassium chloride. I'm gonna do a little bit more because some of that fell. Okay, and then the last part of my recipe is my magnesium glycinate. And I love this stuff for a couple of things. 1, because you need the mineral. 2, because it helps with sleep. So I'll put it in here, but I also take about a half a scoop of this at night. So the magnesium glycinate for a day, kind of the interesting thing about electrolytes is there's no real clear direction on how much is needed for everyone. And I think a big part of that is we're all different. And so I kind of go with what I think I should do. Magnesium glycinate actually makes the water a little bit sweeter. So I did 3 scoops, which is going to give me about 600 milligrams of this stuff for the day, which I think is a good number for me. And then I'll usually take about 100, 150 milligrams at night before I go to bed. And it helps me with my sleep. So I love that stuff. So now I'm just going to shake this up. And this is my day 1 bottle of water, my gallon of water. So my goal is to drink this whole thing. I'll drink the whole thing all day tomorrow. I started today, and I actually had another bottle of distilled water that I mineralized and put the electrolytes in and drank throughout the day today. It was like a half gallon because I started around 1:30 today was when I started my fast. So this will be I'm saying day 1 is my bottle 1 is tomorrow, and I'll drink this whole thing all day tomorrow. And then over here, I'm just storing all my water because I like to drink it cold in my Yeti cooler. You can see I've got day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So by the end, those will all be empty, and those are my meals. That's my meals for the day, for each day. That's all I'm going to be doing during this 100-hour fast. And I know that there's going to be times like when I get hungry and things like that, and I've learned some tips and stuff that help me when I'm struggling with hunger, when I'm struggling kind of with that mental pull towards food. But I'm excited for this one. I've got a friend doing this one with me this time. I'm excited to kind of work with someone and going through it. And yeah, so that's it kind of for my day 1 preparation. Meals are easy when you're doing a fast. Basically just water and electrolytes for the next 4 days. It's also a pretty cheap one too, cheap diet. So, but I'm excited to see what it does for me this time, being my 3rd one. And yeah, that's all. Thanks, and hope you guys follow along. Thanks for following along on my 100-hour fast journey. I'm going to be posting more videos over the next several days, kind of documenting the process and the things I utilize and some of the tips and tricks I have with getting through a 100-hour fast. And of course, I'm going to get to why I do this. So go ahead and click on the videos over here. If you're interested in any of the products that I use, I'll probably have links down below. And I'm going to be providing a free guide too as well if you want to try and do a 100-hour fast on your own. I do recommend being very strategic about this and not just flying into it. Here's to doing hard things on purpose.